This is Jay Teaches Reading for All, Lesson 92, in which we're going to look at two endings, IER and iest, which are used to help us compare two or more things to decide or to show which one is more or most. And we'll be explaining more about that in a little while. Now we're going to review, and we'll start with the contractions. And once again, as I did last time, I'm going to say the first two words. Students, you say the contraction. So, I am, I'm, I will, I'll, I have, I've, I would, I'd, you are, you're, you will, you'll, you have, you've, he is, he's, he will, he'll, he would, he'd, she is, she's, she will, she'll, she would, she'd, we are, we're, we will, we'll, we have, we've, we would, we'd. Teachers, have students read these to you. Press pause. Contractions, contractions, and more contractions. All right, students, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say the two words. You read the contraction. They are, there. They will, they'll. They have, they've. It is, it's, is not, isn't, are not, aren't, was not, wasn't, were not, weren't, do not, don't, does not, doesn't, will not, won't, would not, wouldn't, could not, couldn't, should not, shouldn't, has not, hasn't, have not, haven't. Again, teachers, have students read these contractions to you. Press pause. And now we come to these endings. IER, ear, and iest, eest. And here is the way they work. And I gave an example of this at the end of a previous lesson so that you would have some idea of what we're getting into. So we could say the little girl is pretty. She is prettier than her older sister. In fact, she is the prettiest of the four sisters. So when we are using IER, we're comparing two. the girl and her older sister, just two of them. But when we compare more than two, we use the iest to tell us that she is the prettiest of more than two of the four sisters. Okay, so let's check it out and see how it works here. Roomy, which means has lots of space, roomy, roomier, and roomiest. So the den was roomy. The screened-in porch was roomier than the den. And the living room is the roomiest place, or the roomiest room, in the whole house. Steady. That means unwavering. You're not rocking back and forth and ready to fall over, or something is like that. Steady. All right, steadier, steadiest. So we could say that he was very steady on his skateboard. His older brother was even steadier. The professional skateboarder was the steadiest of them all. Dirty. I think we all know what that means. We could say the cat was dirty from being in the woods. The dog jumped into the pond. It was dirtier than the cat. Little brother had fallen in a mud hole. He was the dirtiest of the three. Friendly. And of course, friendly means kind, likable. Okay, we could say, well, friendly, friendlier, if we're comparing two. Friendliest, if we're comparing more than two. So we could say, Dad is a friendly person. His daughter, Susie, is even friendlier than her father. Mom is the friendliest in the whole family. So, teachers, I'd like you to have students read these to you and then pick a couple sets, which would be 6 words. Like you could pick roomy, roomier, roomiest, steady, steadier, steadiest, whichever ones that you would like. I wouldn't pick more than 2, and have students try to spell these. Press pause. Now, our next lesson is going to be on endings, S-U-R-E and T-U-R-E. And they're going to have sounds that are unexpected. And that's what we've been doing in a lot of these lessons recently. We've been looking at endings that are not pronounced the way we would think according to their spellings. So we'll find out, in fact, we'll be sure to find out how these are pronounced as endings in lesson 93. See you there.